Hey guys, Silver Shady here, and welcome back to another episode of Pokemonday. So first off, I do want to apologize if we sound a little bit different. We got a new mic, and we are trying it out for the first time, so yeah, hopefully it'll work a hell of a lot better than the one we had before, and hopefully you can hear me a hell of a lot clearer. There we go. Alright, this week we're going to be taking a look at a expanded Darkrai EX list. So let's get right into it. We're going to start off with 3 copies of Darkrai EX from Breakpoint. 180 HP Dark type. We all know what he does. He's been in format forever, both standard and expanded. He is our main attacker in this deck, which is why we run 3 copies of him. We're going to be using his main attack, or his first attack being Dark Pulse for 2 colorless energies, does 20 damage, plus an additional 20 more for every single dark energy you have in play. Just a really powerful card. We also play 1 copy of the Darkrai EX from Dark Explorers. We play him mostly for his Dark Cloak ability. Each Pokemon has a dark energy attached to it, has no retreat cost, and in this deck, where most things have a 2-star retreat cost, that's pretty good. You can use his Night Spear attack, but in most cases, you're going to be wanting to swing with the Breakpoint Darkrai. For more energy acceleration, we play 3 copies of Darkrai GX from Burning Shadows. We're mostly playing him for his ability. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in your discard pile, you may put it directly onto your bench, then attach a basic Dark Energy card from your discard pile to this Pokemon. This deck does have the option to use his Dead End GX attack, which is the other reason why we're playing him. Dead End GX, if your opponent's active Pokemon is affected by a special condition, that Pokemon is now knocked out. You can only use 1 GX attack in a game, naturally, but to be able to use our Darkrai GX's GX attack, we play 1 copy of Nihilego GX. If I'm mispronouncing that, I really don't care. He's a jellyfish. That's all you need to know. His ability is why we play him, for his Empty Light. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you may leave both active Pokemon poisoned and confused. So the general idea behind this is have something in your active spot, play down Nihilego, and utilizing Dark Cloak, you retreat into a Darkrai GX and then use Dead End GX to take a knockout. The rest of his attacks don't matter because we don't run Psychic Energy. And from the new Ultra Prism set, we run 1 copy, and only 1 copy because we can't play anymore, even though it'd be wonderful, of Darkrai Prism Star. Again, playing him for his ability. His ability being Nightmare Star. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may attach 2 basic Dark Energy from your hand to this Pokemon. It has 160 HP. If you need to use this attack, you can. It costs 4 Dark Energy to use. It's called Abyssal Sleep for 120 damage. This does leave your opponent's active Pokemon asleep. And your opponent has to flip 2 coins instead of 1 between turns. If either of them is tails, they are still asleep. Personally, I typically don't use this attack. Mostly because it's a 4 energy cost on 160 HP body, which is not ideal for this deck. You want to try to preserve your energy as much as possible and spread it around the board, but it is usable. It should be noted that the Prism Star rule is that you can only have 1 copy of a card with the same name in your deck, or 1 Prism Star card with the same name in your deck. And if it gets discarded in any way, it goes to the Lost Zone instead of the discard pile. So if you Ultra Ball this guy away, he's gone for good. Naturally, the Lost Zone is removed from play. So let's keep that in mind. We play 1 copy of Propagation Execute, because discard abuse is still disgusting, and we like taking advantage of that. Propagation, if this Pokemon is in your discard pile, you may put it directly into your hand. It says once during your turn, however, again, as I've said before, due to Pokemon's rules about switching zones, being, say, from the active spot to the bench, or from the discard pile to your hand. Every active effect on any given Pokemon is reset, including once per turn abilities. So we play one copy of Hoopa EX. We play it for its Scoundrel Ring ability. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may search your deck for up to 3 Pokemon EX, show them to your opponent, and put them into your hand. Shuffle your deck afterward. Its attacks don't matter, because again, no psychic energy, so who cares? To pair with that, we run one copy of Shaman EX for draw power, being its setup ability. When you play it from your hand, you may draw up until you have 6 cards in your hand. We only play one copy because we also play one copy of Tapu Lele GX, because it's still just too good not to use. Its attack is usable in this deck because we run Dark Energy, and colorless can be fulfilled by that. But mostly we play it for its Wonder Tag ability. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may search your deck for a supporter card, show it to your opponent, and put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck afterward. And that does it for our Pokemon lineup. We're going to move into our supporters next. We play 3 copies of Professor Sycamore. Even though Cynthia has come out, we still prefer Sycamore, being that we rely mostly on our discard pile with this deck. So being able to abuse that as much as possible just seems like a really good idea. So 3 copies of Sycamore, discard your hand, draw 7. We play 1 copy of N. We mostly play this for its disruption aspect, as the shuffle draw really tends to hurt us more than help us, as we tend to take prizes pretty quickly with this deck. Again, hence the 1 copy of him. But and for anyone who needs to know his effect, each player shuffles their hand into their deck and draws a number of cards equal to their prizes. So, and then we do play 1 copy of Cynthia for a nice shuffle draw option. This is still a good inclusion to have as a one-of. Due to our Darkrai Prism Star here, we really don't want to be Sycamoring that away. With Cynthia, you shuffle your hand into your deck and you draw 6 cards. It's the new Professor Oak's new theory. So, and we play 1 copy of Colress because we tend to have a giant bench. And giant benches and Colress are really, really good friends. They have been since Skyfield was released. Colress, you shuffle your hand into your deck, and you draw 1 card for each bench Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponent's, which means Colress can net you a grand total of 16 cards, over a quarter of your deck, if both players have a fully loaded bench, with Skyfield out. We play 1 copy of Guzma, better than Lysander, and sometimes you do need the switching effect, just in case you can't get your Dark Cloak Darkrai out, so just a good card to have in general. We play 1 copy of Gladion. This is one of our 2 techie supporters. This is mostly in case we prize Nihilego or Darkrai Prism Star, as both of those usually come in handy each and every match. I have found myself in 8 out of 10 matches I've used Gladion. So, Disruptive Cat would like to say hi again. She didn't get enough of the spotlight last time. So, excuse me. I'm just gonna take you. There you go. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, Gladion allows you to look at your face-down prize cards. You may choose one of them and put it into your hand. Then you shuffle this Gladion that you used into your remaining prize cards and replace them back face-down. It should be noted that if this Gladion is not in your hand, you cannot use this effect. So, for example, if you have one of those Pokemon who allows you to look at your opponent's hand and use the supporter card you find there as the effect of this attack, you cannot choose Gladion, as it will do nothing. So, alright. And then, as our last supporter, we play 1 copy of Ninja Boy. Ninja Boy allows you to choose one of your basic Pokemon in play. Then you search your deck for a basic Pokemon and replace it with the one you chose. Any attached cards, damage counters, special conditions, anything like that will go on to the new basic Pokemon that you selected from your deck. and then the Pokemon that you had in play originally, you shuffle into your deck. We use this in conjunction with Darkrai Prism Star, and it has happened several times where I've played Darkrai Prism Star down, used Ninja Boy, and gone directly into a fully charged Darkrai EX, seeing as Darkrai needs exactly 2 energy to attack, and that just so happens to be exactly how many Darkrai Prism Star gets onto the bench. So, just a really good card to have for that combo. Moving on to our Stadium card of choice, we play 4 copies of Skyfield. Because it works well with Colress, we have a tendency to bench load a lot, seeing as we have Darkrai GX, we have our bench setter Darkrai EX here, we have Hoopa, Shaman, Tapu Lele, Nihilego, Darkrai Prism Star, just a lot of bench sitters, so having an expanded bench really does help. Naturally, Skyfield allows each player to have up to 8 Pokemon on their bench, so just probably the best Stadium for this deck at this point in time. And moving on to our ace spec of choice, naturally this deck was a real toss-up between Computer Search and Dowsing Machine. Computer Search, again, is mostly for early game acceleration, and Dowsing Machine is for late game recovery. We chose Dowsing Machine for this list, as I found that this deck has enough early game acceleration to get by. However, late game it tends to stumble a little bit, so having Dowsing Machine allow you a 5th copy of Skyfield, another supporter if you need to use it, a 4th copy of Choice Band, a 5th copy of Ultra Ball, 5th copy of Dark Patch, pretty much anything you need. It's just a more powerful option in this deck. So, Dowsing Machine, discard 2 cards from your hand and put a trainer card in your discard pile back into your hand. So, and for our tools, I know I've already mentioned it, but we play 3 copies of Choice Band for damage boost. You can use Fighting Fury Belt. Me, personally, I prefer the extra damage that Choice Band affords you. So, and it also allows you to hit some really weird numbers, like the 170 numbers that are kind of awkward to hit. Choice Band gives you an out to hit those a little bit easier. So does Fighting Fury Belt, but Choice Band allows 1 less energy to high. You know, I'm trying to do a thing here, and you're making that rather difficult. Yes, I know. I will give you attention after, I promise. Just please, let me do my thing. Gotta love Disruptive Cat. Sorry about that. But yeah, Choice Band allows you to attach 1 less energy to be able to hit those numbers, so again, just a more powerful option. Moving on to our actual items, we play 4 copies of Ultra Ball. This is pretty standard. Discard 2 cards from your hand, search your deck for a Pokemon, show it to your opponent, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck after. Pretty much every deck should be playing 4 copies of this, unless you're playing something like Dive Ball and Level Ball, in which case 2 or 3, but regardless, it's a pretty standard staple at this point. For energy acceleration, we play 4 copies of Dark Patch. Mainly, we chose this over Max Elixir because it's far more powerful. Dark Patch allows you to attach a basic Dark Energy card from your discard pile to one of your benched Dark Pokemon. It should be noted you cannot attach it to the active, so that can hurt a little bit, but so be it. I would have run Max Elixir in this list alongside it, but I could not find the room, as there were too many things I wanted to fit in this list. So overall, I chose Dark Patch over the Max Elixir. We also play 2 copies of Field Blower because it's still the most powerful way to get rid of any form of tool in the format. Both formats, actually. One thing to note, if you see a lot of tool drop in your area, which isn't a very common deck, but for example, I know my good friend Dan has been tempted to run it against me, just for the shits and giggles of doing it. Really? I can't do this with you right now. I am so sorry, guys. But yeah, if you see a lot of tool drop in your area, then you can replace one of these with a copy of Startling Megaphone. It does basically the same thing, except for the fact that it discards all tools on your opponent's side of the field, instead of just choosing 2 anywhere on the board. Field Blower also is a bit more powerful, as it can allow you to discard a Stadium card if you need to. So, we also play 2 copies of Battle Compressor to be able to thin our deck out and get things like Darkrai GX, Dark Energies, Fuel for Dark Patches, supporters if you need to put them in there, your Propagation Execute, pretty much anything you need you can get in the discard pile with your Battle Compressor. So, just powerful card to have. We play 1 copy of Rescue Stretcher. For the most part, this card is mostly there for your Darkrai EXs and your Nihilego if you happen to have to discard it early. And the worst case scenario, if you need to get back one of these 3, it's there for that as well. But again, just another late game recovery option you can use. It allows you, if you choose one of 2 effects. The first effect will allow you to put a Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand, and the second will allow you to shuffle 3 Pokemon from your discard pile into your deck. So, yeah, there's that. Then we play 4 copies of Versus Seeker. Pretty standard at this point. Put a supporter card from your discard pile into your hand. Just really powerful card. Good to have. And then lastly, for our techie item, we play 1 copy of Energy Switch. This is mostly because we play Darkrai GX. Energy Switch allows you to move a basic energy attached to one of your Pokemon to another one of your Pokemon. The basic idea is if you start a lone Darkrai EX and are able to get a Darkrai GX into the discard pile, you can manual attach from hand to the Darkrai EX in your active, and that Energy Switch your restored energy from Darkrai GX onto your active Darkrai and swing if you're going second. So, rounding out the list, we play a grand total of 12 basic Dark Energies. Enough to work with Darkrai GX, Dark Patch, Darkrai Prism Star, and everything else you need the energy for. I found this is more of a magic number. She's so determined. Alright. I found this is more of a magic number, as 13 I found it clogged my hand, and 11 I wasn't seeing it enough for everything I needed it for. 12 kind of just clicked with the deck. So, not to mention by having 12 energy, it allows you to hit a grand total of 270 damage, which, while that is a huge amount, it is unfortunately 20 damage shy of knocking a Wailord with a Fighting Fury Belt, but that's why you have Field Blower. So, there you go. So, anyways, that's the deck for you guys. This is a really fun deck to play. It's fast, aggressive, definitely one of my favorites, and has only gotten better with the release of Ultra Prism and Darkrai Prism Star helping it out. I do want to apologize on how long it's been since we've done one of these videos. I do plan on doing more videos in the future, but I don't know yet what the time frame is going to look like and how that's going to go. Also, I will be releasing a video sometime shortly explaining why everything has been so non-existent as far as the channel goes, but for now, here is your code card for the week. Let's see if we can get this first try. Wow, I actually got it. It's a pack of Ultra Prism for you. Naturally, you're going to be looking for the Full Art Cynthia, as it seems to be the most ridiculously stupid hard card to pull in that set. But, either way, good luck with that. That is the deck for you guys. I hope you enjoyed. I don't know when the next deck list will be coming out, as I don't know what my time frame is looking like as of yet. I did want to get back into recording, and I'm honestly glad that, I was able to record this deck for you guys. Thank you so much for your patience on that. Thank you for watching. And we'll see you in the next one.